Alright, so today I'm going to show you how you can create these fun Star Wars food tent tags. And when I say tent tags, it's basically the tags that you would fold in half and they would stand upright, displaying the different types of food that you have at a particular party. I'm going to do a whole series of Star Wars, and I will move on to other themed series of printables. So again, this goes the food tags for the Star Wars series. I do have a YouTube channel which has a number of different printable ideas, everything from water bottle tags to generic banners to school flyers, both square as well as circular tags, cupcake toppers. So please watch other videos on my channel, join or subscribe to my channel, and like the video if you did find this useful. Alright, so these are actually really easy to create. They're not going to take very much time at all. But the very first thing we're going to want to do is go to File, New, Blank Document. Okay. And then we want to go to Page Layout and click on Margins and click on Narrow. And this is basically just going to give us more real estate to work with. Then we want to go through and insert a table. And each tent tag is going to basically be 2 squares vertically. So this is going to give us 2 different food tent tags. And we have enough to essentially do 4 tent tags on this one sheet of paper. Okay. So now that I inserted that table, and I inserted the table with 4 rows and 2 columns, you then want to click on this little double X so that the entire table is selected. And then once that is selected, you can go down to the bottom left-hand side and drag. You can left click and drag, go down to the right hand side, left click and then drag this whole table down. And this will bring this table down and evenly space out all of the different squares. Okay. From here, the next thing we want to do is sort of create this separation between them to give us a place to cut them, so we're not going to essentially be cutting into each one of the tags. So what we want to do is right click, select the table, right click, click on Table Properties. You can click on Options and then you do Allow Spacing Between Cells. And we want to move this to 5, and then we want to press OK. Okay. So now we have a little bit more space, and if we want to get rid of that other page, we can just kind of move that up a little bit. So now we can see that we have a place to cut this. Okay. We want to do a little bit more, a few more changes before we go through and grab our images and make our tags. So we want to once again right click and click on Table Properties, and we want to click on Borders and Shading. Okay. From here, we want to click on Color Black. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is for the border. We want to do everything automatic. We want to remove these side borders, okay? Because all we really want are the tent tag borders. Okay, so we're going to press OK. And there we have just our tent tag borders. We don't have that other border there that really was unnecessary. And if you cut around it, it could potentially just make the tag look worse. So now we're going to once again right click, and we're going to click on Table Properties, and we're going to click on Borders and Shading, and we're going to click on Shading, and we want to do Solid, and instead of Table we want to apply this to Cell. Okay, and now we have the start of our tags. Okay, now what we want to do is, again, we're going to be folding this, so we really just need the print on one side. We want to go ahead and put in this Star Wars background. So we want to go back to a browser. I use Google, and I want to type in Star Wars Clone Wars Square logo. And I did some searching and I actually found it. So we can go ahead and click on there, and here it is right here. So we can go ahead and click on this, and we can right click, and we want to do Save Picture As. And let's go ahead and save it in our Star Wars. And then what we want to do is we want to open up Paint. Paint should come with every install of Microsoft Office, so you should have this. And let's go ahead and open up our Clone Wars. Now what we want to do is essentially get rid of this Clone Wars portion in the middle here. So what we want to do is press select, and then we want to highlight this whole middle part, and then just press delete. And that's it. Okay. Now we have sort of this ugly white box. So we want to click on our paint bucket right up here next to the pencil, and we want to ensure that black is selected, and then we can put that in. Now we can go ahead, do File, Save As, and we can do Star Wars tags. Okay. So then we can close this. We can close this, and let's go to our new document. Okay. So from here we want to go ahead and click into the cell we want to enter the information in, and we want to do Insert Picture. And of course we want to go to our desktop, and we want to put where we saved that, and we called that Star Wars tags. Let's go ahead and insert. First thing we want to do is change the layout and do in front of text. So you can either click on this little box here, or you can right click and do wrap text, and you want to do in front of text. Okay. Now you can make this bigger or smaller just by dragging and dropping, and you can very easily move this around. Okay. We can also go through and we can click on crop, and we can get rid of more of this black if we wanted to even make this a little bit bigger. Okay. And then we can go ahead and make this slightly bigger. All right. And now all we have to do is the final step. We can do Insert Text Box, and we want to draw a text box, and we want to draw a text box right in here. And then we want to do Format. We want to do a shape fill of no fill and a shape outline of no outline. And we want to type in Vader Tots. Okay. Obviously this is black writing, so you're not going to be able to see it. So you can go back to your home, and you can click on the white. So you're going to make that font color white. I think actually we made that font color yellow, so let's make that yellow. And then we want to use the Star Wars font. If you do not know how to download and install new fonts, and you don't have the Star Wars font on your computer, please watch my video on installing and downloading new fonts. And then we can go ahead and make the size 36. And we can highlight this. Something that does happen often is the line spacing defaults. So let me start over. So if there's a big space in between your two words, you're going to want to go and click up, and it's from the Home tab, and click up Line and Paragraph Spacing, and then click Line Spacing Options. And then from here, you want to be sure that is set to 0 and that is set to single. And that will move that up a little bit. The other thing you can do is we could center this, and then we can also move this text box around to make this a little bit bigger. And that's it. It's really as easy as that. And then if we want to move this to another tag, we can simply click on the image that we imported, press the Shift key, and then click on our text box, and then we can right click, do a copy, click into here, do a paste, and do a paste. Okay. And then from here, we can very easily just change this to, instead of Vader Tots, we could change this to Wiki Cookie, and we could change this to Yoda Soda, and we could change this to Fruit Savers, really whatever you want. And then obviously we can move these images around as they got pasted. And to move these around in a fine-grained fashion, you can just click on the image and then use the arrow keys on your computer or laptop to move these around. Okay. Now, when you do actually print this out and cut these out, You are going to see a little white line in between, but normally it's folded, so it doesn't matter. If you are a perfectionist and you want to get rid of that, you can go ahead and click outside, and you can insert a shape, and you can insert a line. Hold down the Shift key, make the line go all the way across, click on Format, do a shape outline of black, and you can do a weight of 3. And then you can very easily get rid of that black line in between the two. Okay, that's just sort of another option if, again, you're kind of a perfectionist and didn't want that there. So I hope you found that useful. If you did, again, please like my video. I have a number of other videos on Star Wars printables, as well as a number of other videos on printables in general, so please feel free to watch those. And thanks so much for watching.